Hey everybody, how you doing out there today? Tonight, whenever you're watching this video. My name's Anthony, Risen Survivor. I'm just kind of highlighting a little bit of what I've been talking about these last couple weeks. It's kind of crazy how things have been going on right now because a few weeks ago I talked about, our condition, having cancer and other illnesses, and how we're susceptible to getting sick and how other things can arise, appear, stem from, and occur to us, and how, our immune system is definitely compromised, and I'm definitely compromised because I'm undergoing chemotherapy, and whether it be in a pill form or through IV, I'm still getting radiation into my body. And I already have cancer, so therefore my white blood cells are weakened and my hemoglobins and other areas in my life, they're not as strong as normal persons. And other people go through the same things, so we have to really watch ourselves. And a lot of times, we'll start to get comfortable for a while and start to just blow off things that may not seem that important. And I urge you to not do these things, because I almost made a huge mistake and it could have cost me my life again. And, if you've been watching a few of my videos by now, you know that I have already been on death's door. I've been to hospice. I've been totally paralyzed for over a year and a half. I've had cancer metastasized all through my body, being told I had absolutely no chance, that I shouldn't be here. And it's been a long, hard journey. I still have an incurable cancer, but I don't live that way. I live every day with the best attitude that I can have, that I don't even have cancer, is how I try to live and to enjoy each day to the best that I can, and not try and think about things like that and defeat this. And I mentioned the other day I had a huge scare. I'm not going to get too much into it, but it was just something just felt like when I had placed my foot down to where it was numb and it felt like there was something underneath it standing on. And when I had called, because from my paralysis I had a blood clot in my left leg before, and I always have to watch that. And when I did, the symptoms that had occurred, the doctor who was on call kind of scared the bejesus out of me, because she said, hang up immediately, dial 911, you're having a stroke. And to say the least, I called, and the ambulance showed up. My block was all shut off. My caregiver was freaking out. We get to the hospital and everything, but the grace of God, I wasn't having a stroke, but it was a serious issue, because through the bad blood flow and through mosquitoes, that when I roll out to my porch in the back to watch the birds, because I love my birds in the morning with the coffee, and we've had a lot of rain here where I live lately, and the mosquitoes have gotten up, and I've had bad blood flow in my legs. And I guess that with the insect bites and scratching, I had gotten cellulitis, the small part of my leg. Now, that's a very serious. And this day and age, and we have got to do something about our healthcare system, because, I did reading up on this, and this is very serious, and it was on the left side of my body. And I guess I watch too much TV, because I take so much for granted, and I'm already scared to death of what they told me. And, I think I'm going into, we watch all this stuff like, the autistic doctor who's doing good on TV, and those shows, ER, and this new one, The Resident, where everybody's great. But here I went to, the emergency room, and I don't even see a doctor. I see a nurse practitioner, and I am by no means, please do not take this wrong, nurse practitioners are great. And, they're one step right underneath the doctors. And they have to go to medical school, same thing. They're just getting ready to be a doctor. And if you're a nurse practitioner, at least take the time to explain to your patient what is going on with them, especially after they've just showed up to your emergency room being told that they're going to have a stroke. And on top of that they're already a terminal cancer patient. You would think that you would have a little better bedside manner, but we just don't seem to find that. Or maybe, hey, I just got unlucky that day, but hey, I'm not going to complain about that. God bless. But it was just the way it was done that day, because I really could have been in a world of trouble, and I did end up getting in worse shape when I came home, because it wasn't that I wanted to be cradled or treated any different. They asked for some of my medications, but my caregiver was so panicking also, they didn't realize that my chemo medication is kept separate from the rest of the medication because it has radiation. And I mentioned to my nurse that I take a chemo med, but they never asked me what type, what kind, and I kept mentioning, hey, I was still on this. So they really never knew when they wrote my prescriptions what other medication is reacting with this. So thank God when the next morning I didn't take my chemo that night, and I called my regular oncologist, and they said immediately, stop, do not take your medication. When you're mixed with that, which, using common sense sometimes goes a long way, but it wasn't that I didn't want them, that they didn't speak to me. It's just when you get your release orders, either the doctor or at least a nurse should explain to you what to do when you leave the hospital. Especially when it is something as serious as a blood infection that can travel through your blood, and if you exert any type of energy and it speeds up, it can get into your heart and immediately kill you. I wasn't given any of these instructions. I wasn't even told, anything but paperwork that they gave me, and I had to read it for myself, which I still did, thank God. But, I didn't get home until late, and my caregiver read it, and they said, oh my gosh, you got to get to the doctor within a day, which you can't get to a doctor in 24 hours without notice. No way possible. By the grace of God, I did have an appointment already set up. This happened on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and I had an appointment set up the following week on a Thursday to set up a primary doctor appointment. So luckily that was almost set up, but I did get one with another doctor on, I just saw the doctor a couple days ago on the Monday of the following Monday, so I still had to go the weekend without seeing a doctor, and that was still crazy, because when I got home, I still realized I hadn't known what the directions were, and I hadn't had my foot elevated for those first 24 hours like they told me to, and I should have. That is my bad. I take responsibility for it. But I felt very horrible, and it really, I still not feeling right because of that. So it's really crazy how those things went. And then another thing about it was they gave me a prescription at 1:15 a.m. in the morning and said, here, have this prescription filled and then take care of it. When really, in all actuality, they should have given me an IV of a strong antibiotic for something like this, and then said, okay, here's a prescription. When the pharmacy opens in the morning, continue these. Because I had insurance. It's not like I didn't have insurance, so that really had me wonder what was going on. And can you believe I had to actually tell the nurse, you might want to ask the doctor if he would like to at least give me the oral antibiotic that I can take until a pharmacy opens to where I can fill this in the morning or sometime late tonight at a 24-hour pharmacy. And yes, she went over, talked to him. They came back with the antibiotic. I took the antibiotic. My caregiver drove me to a pharmacy where I sat and waited for them to fill the prescription in the car. And I think they filled it in 20 minutes at 2:30 in the morning, whatever time it was by then. But thank God that they did. But it was just like, is this what it's like now? And it's not like it wasn't even busy. I'm like, I guess I must be spoiled rotten by the cancer facilities I go to because they're just so wonderful. Everybody there takes care of you. They're like family. The nurses are great. The doctors are great. And, I guess that I don't know what it is. I'm taking too much for granted. And I just talked about that in my videos, that we take so many things for granted in this world that I shouldn't be complaining. And I'm really not complaining. So please don't take this as a complaint. But what I'm trying to tell you is that our healthcare system is in really bad shape. And I understand. People don't understand. The number one cause of death in the United States, people think is cancer, cigarette smoking cancer, or, gun violence, heart disease, things like that. It's not. The number one cause of death in the United States is medical malpractice. And they do not tell you that. They do not want you to know that that is the number one reason people die here. So I think that should be something that is addressed, and we can do a whole lot better. Because it's definitely not that shoulder resident when you show up, and you're definitely not doing that great with the healthcare system we're having now. So I know that we can do a whole lot better. And I can't believe that we had these horrible idiots. Mitch McConnell, who is a horrible excuse. You can't call him a human being because a human being has a soul. He has no soul. Anybody that wants to take health care away from 30 million Americans, pre-existing conditions, that have cancer, diabetes. Well, I don't understand that. Just for life, man. It's not because I want it for myself. It's just I've seen so many people suffer. I have suffered. I know what it's like. I've been there. It scares me, but I've also accepted it, and perfect love has cast out all fear for me. But I fear for others because it hurts me more than anything. And what hurts me more is that another person can be all right with that you're fine saying that person doesn't deserve medical care. He doesn't deserve the same treatment that I do. That he doesn't deserve to get the same medications, or that he should have to wait longer, because the longer you wait, the less chances you have. You gotta realize it's a time bomb in everything that happens with you if you stall and wait longer, and they know that. That's why it's called deny till you die. I'm running out of time on this video right now because they kind of limit me to 15 minutes right now. But I just want you to know, all you guys be in my prayers, and you hang tough out there. I love you all, and I still pray for everybody in this country. I still pray for our administration, even though they're going in the wrong direction. I just hope there'll be some changes come 2020, but that's not what it's about. It's about health care. It's about love and taking care of everybody. Stay strong. Stay in the fight. Keep fighting. Keep the faith. And hang in there, people. I love you guys. God bless. You're my prayers.